Well, everybody, Sunday, last game of the NBA, Game 7. It's kind of a hard game to call or predict, if you will. Um, whew. On one hand, you got maybe the culmination of a great season, or on the other hand, you have maybe a guy changes his perception of him in terms of his legacy. 6 straight NBA finals. Hopefully, he can get his third ring. Now, what do the Cavs have to do to win this game, Game 7? And honestly, it's what they did in Game 6. Rebound, dominate the boards, get secondhand chances. Have Kyrie Irving go off. He's got to get at least 27. Tristan Thompson, he has to get a double-double. He has to get like probably 13 or 14 rebounds. And if he can get you 12 to 14 points, that's just gravy right there. Gravy. J.R. Smith, he has to continue to play a good, solid game. He has to show up in this game, which normally he does not show up in big-time games. But he has to, and I think he will, because I think he realizes that this is the moment. This is his time to shine, really, in his role. If he can continue to be engaged defensively, that is huge. And if he can get you 14 or 16 points, that's great. And be consistent on defense. He has to do that. Kevin Love, man. Kevin Love. He really, I said last game he should be blowing up, especially with Andrew Bogut out for the finals. But he didn't really show up last game. He got in foul trouble, as a bunch of other people got in foul trouble in that game. I'm not gonna say he's gonna get 20 points. Let's just say if he can get rebounds, if he can get you double-digit rebounds, that's great. As far as points, hell, let's just say 10 and 10. If he can get 10 and 10, it's a great game for Kevin Love, even though he's got a max contract. Ugh. But anyway, LeBron James. Whew, that man's on a tear. That man is on a tear, and if he continue to shoot the rock semi-good and get to the rack whenever he can, it's gonna be a great game for him. It's gonna be a great game for the Cavs. It's gonna be a great game for the city of Cleveland. Because if he can continue to do what he's done, they'll probably win the championship. They'll probably win Game 7, and Cleveland will finally get a championship. Because I watched that 30 for 30, where Cleveland is starved of a championship. So it'd be great to have for LeBron James to come back to Cleveland and get them a championship. So if he can have a great game like he had the last 2 games, I don't see any problem. Now, for the Warriors. I know they're shorthanded. Andrew Bogut's out. Everybody knows. Iguodala, not sure in the status, but he looked to be hobbling in that last game. Don't know how effective he'll be on only 2 days rest with the lower back. But my opinion for what the Warriors have to do is basically keep the game close. They cannot afford to have start the game going 1 or 2 minutes without scoring a point or struggling to get a point. They have to start the game out the gates on fire, or at least just semi on fire. Because if they don't, it allows the Cavs to basically control the game for the entirety of the game. Like last couple of games, they've had double-digit points, a double-digit lead easy. Where when it got up to as much as 15, 20 points, and in that case, the Cavs can just be on cruise control and just maintain the game. But if the game is close, the Warriors, I still believe, have a lot more depth than the Cavs, even with the uncertainty of Andre Iguodala, which is a huge blow if he can't go. Bo gets out, so I think even with those issues, I still think the Warriors are a deeper team. So the team is, if the game is close, I feel that it becomes a numbers game, and then the Warriors have the advantage in that aspect because they can just rotate players. Whereas the Cleveland Warriors, they've kind of gotten away. They've kind of been able to mask their lack of depth because they have so many great leads where they could rotate players in where they weren't really as they weren't so much as increasing the lead. They were just kind of maintaining the lead, and that's a huge difference when the game is real close and you have to have those same players either keep the game close or get the lead. So if the Warriors can keep the game close, I think that's a lot better for them. So the key for them is start the first quarter hot. And Stephen Curry, he has to have a great game. I know he got 30 points, but the game was never really in doubt. Even though he got those 30 points, the Cavs were going to win that game from the early onset. Klay Thompson has continued to be good on defense, especially against Kyrie Irving. He has to have at least 30 points. I'm saying 30 points for each of those players. Barbosa, he has to have 10 to 15. Sean Livingston, he has got to find his groove because he hasn't had a good game since, I believe, game 2. So he has to find a way to show up consistently. And the turnovers, they have to play consistently and smart. You cannot have turnovers against this team because it builds to their lead. And somehow, out of nowhere, the Cavaliers have learned to have transition game, and they've been kind of deadly in transition. So play smart. Klay Thompson, Stephen Curry have to get 30 points each. Limit your turnovers. Barbosa has to have a good game. Sean Livingston has to have a good game. Harrison Barnes, you got to show up. Please do something out here because you have not had a good game. Draymond Green, you got to be active on the boards. You got to leave it all on the court because you're going to be going against LeBron James and a bunch of big guys, and you're severely undersized against those guys, Tristan Thompson and Kevin Love and LeBron James. So you got your work cut out for you. But I believe there's no tomorrow. There's no game tomorrow. So leave it all in the field. He's got to have probably the most impactful game in terms of offense and of defense rather. So I think that's the key for the Warriors. Keep the game close, and then with those two guys, those two scorers, you never know. You never want to bet against them if a game is close. So that's my thoughts on what each team should do. Who do I think will win? Man, it's hard. I'm going to go Cleveland. Cleveland's going to win Game 7 because I really feel that LeBron James is evolving as a player, and I think we're seeing his true prime, where he's having confidence in his shot, and that has made him almost unguardable. You never know if he shoots. People are actually having to, when he gets hot in terms of shooting, people have to come up closer to him, and then he can just blow by you. So he's really unguardable when he's feeling his jump shot. And I think he has confidence in his jump shot now, and that's a huge thing because I've always said the biggest critique of him is when he misses 3 or 4 shots, he will lose confidence like I've never seen an all-star player lose confidence. So I think LeBron James has evolved even now at the age of 31. I think he's entering his true prime. So I think this is where you see LeBron James put the team on his back and give Cleveland a championship. So that's my thoughts. Let me know what you guys think. All you Warriors fans, all you Cleveland fans, tell me what you guys think about the analysis, and tell me if there's something I forgot. For even you sports fans, leave comments. Tell me what you guys think for the game. Anyway, can't wait. Games later on today. I'm nervously excited. I want to see a good game. I don't want to see a blowout. I want to see a good game. That's because none of my teams are in there. My Lakers aren't in there. So, anyway, I'll talk to you after the game.